What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video. And in today's video we are going to be revisiting our tier list series, as we are going to be putting the spotlight on the red element fighters and ranking the top 5 for all things PVE. But before we get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys are new here to the channel and you enjoy daily King of Fighters Allstar content such as this, that you smash that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers by the end of 2021, and you could help us achieve that goal. Now, before we get into the top 5 list, I do want to go ahead and give you guys a couple disclaimers real quick, but first and foremost, this is going to be the third video in this series, so if you guys want to check out the first 2 videos that we did earlier on this week, links will be in the description, but also want to make sure that I point out that all of these are going to be ranked based on my own personal observations, opinions, and experiences using these characters, so keep that in mind as well. If you guys have a personal favorite, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you can go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below and rank them for yourselves. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the top 5. Number 5 is SSK. So kicking off the list, we have SSK, and SSK is going to be a red balance type with a leadership ability that increases all-star fighters' attack by 55% and decreases their HP by 5%. This character has an extremely good leadership ability. He also has a very good overall typing for things such as high levels of Reviving Hell's Dungeon, and he also has really good tags, so he's going to slot into a lot of really good teams. The biggest thing with SSK that is going to hold him back in the end is a couple of different things. The first one being the fact that even though he does have a ton of different effects and skills based on the fact that he does have derived skills on his S1, unfortunately SSK just doesn't deal as much damage as some of the other top tier meta burn units, and as a burn unit himself, he is going to be in a very glutted pool of top tier characters. In fact, the best overall character arguably in the game right now is a burn based unit in the form of Boss Syndrome Leona, so this leaves SSK in a bit of an awkward position. It doesn't mean that he is a bad character by any stretch of the imagination, but unfortunately when you have as much competition as he does, it does make it tough for you to crack a higher spot on this tier list. But at the end of the day, if you're somebody out there that lacks a lot of these other characters for burn options, and you do happen to have SSK, he is going to be an extremely powerful option for you, and a character that you definitely want to invest in, but do keep his shortcomings in mind. Coming in at number 4, we have SS Mai. SS Mai is going to be a red attack type with a leadership ability that increases female fighters' attack by 60% and decreases their HP by 5%. SS Mai has an incredible leadership ability, one that you're going to use a ton if you have this character. However, unfortunately, this is a character that's been out for a while, and if you missed her rerun, chances are it's going to be quite a bit of time before you get a chance to pick her up again. But as far as burn-based units are concerned, SS Mai is still to this day going to be one of the best overall options. She has amazing DPS for what she is, and she has a really solid 3PG option that is going to make it to where she is going to be able to stop the clock extremely well. She's also going to be a character, as we just mentioned, that is going to be able to slot in as a team leader for a ton of different characters in this game and be very useful for that. And overall with SS Mai, she is aged very gracefully. This is a character that was representative of the first special signature banner that we ever got, and as a result, this character could have easily slid down the tier list even further, but fortunately for the fact that she is going to be very solidly built and is a character that is still going to be offering a ton of value to any account that has her, SS Mai is a character that feels like she has stood the test of time at this point, in a time when we are just getting nothing but limited banner character after limited banner character. She still holds up and deserves her spot at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have Angel of Paradise Honoka. As we crack into the top 3 here, you start to really see just how much the power creep has been cranked up over the course of the past couple of months, But Angel of Paradise Honoka is a red attack type with a leadership ability that increases Dead or Alive 6 fighters' attack by 45% and their power charge rate by 20%, so she has an extremely good leadership ability, but she also boasts the fact that she is going to have a very unique mixed kit where she is going to be able to not only apply Infernal Flame, but also Radiant damage. So in the end, with Angel of Paradise Honoka, this is going to be a character that isn't really trying to do anything super fancy. This is a pure damage dealer. This character is exceptional for pouring on quick damage, as well as being very versatile for things such as Guild Raid or Mortals. And in the general, this is going to be a character that if you didn't miss out on the Dead or Alive 6 collaboration, you will have definitely wanted to pinpoint and target before that event went away, because this is a character that still to this day you're going to find yourself using a ton of. And in general, even though there is going to be better overall options arguably for both of these dots, this is still going to be a tier 1 damage dealer right now. And even though the release of Boss Syndrome Leona has taken away a little bit of her flame, at the end of the day, Angel of Paradise Honoka is here to stay and is still a tier 1 PVE unit. Coming in at number 2, we have SS Neotengu. SS Neotengu is a red defensive type with a leadership ability that increases female fighters' attack by 45% and their power charge rate by 20%. This character is also going to be a bleed-based unit, and she is going to boast that bubble shield, as well as having hyper armor with an interrupt. And in general, this is going to be one of the most brain-dead stupid characters in the entire game, and if it weren't for the fact that there was a character just released that is even somehow more brain-dead and stupid, she would have easily been at number 1 on this list. Now, the biggest issue with this character is, of course, that she was a collaboration SS character, meaning there are going to be quite a few people out there that not only don't have her, but also going to be a lot of people out there that have her and have not been able to build her up. However, she is going to be a tier 1 option for those of you out there who are hoarding those generic SS memories anytime we get them. She would definitely be an amazing beneficiary of those. For a character that has the ability to output the amount of damage she can as a defensive type, with a leadership ability that is as versatile as it is for so many things, including, but not limited to, Immortals, this is going to be a character that I highly, highly recommend and could have easily been number 1 on any other list, but unfortunately, she has been bested by this guy. Coming in at number 1, we have Boss Syndrome Gonitz, or as I like to call him, Gonuts. Boss Syndrome Gonitz is a red attack type with a leadership ability that increases red element fighters' attack by 65%. He also has a plethora of very useful tags, so this is going to be a character that not only is going to make a wonderful, may I even say excellent leader, but also going to be a character that plays very well with other characters. He's also going to be a bleeding machine, but at the end of the day, when you talk about Boss Syndrome Gonitz, the thing that sets him apart from the pack is the fact that this character is damage. Damage, damage, damage. At the end of the day, Boss Syndrome Gonitz, if BS Leona is the number 1 damage dealer in the game, then this guy is pretty much going to be her twin brother, because at the end of the day, this is also a character that you can take into any difficulty of Guild Raid and be able to solo it without the necessary dot, without a striker with the necessary dot, without any teammates. This character can go in and do work by himself, easily do over 1 billion damage if he is built up high enough by himself in lunatic difficulty against not only the Guild Raid version of Omega Rugal, but also the lunatic difficulty Guild Raid version of Nightmare Geese. So at the end of the day, Boss Syndrome Gonitz is the absolute most ridiculous red element character in the game and easily deserves this spot at number 1. Well, there you have it, you guys, the top 5 red element fighters in all of the King of Fighters All-Star for PvE content. So before we go ahead and end the video, of course, I do like to give you guys a couple of honorable mentions, just characters that I do feel that are going to be worth mentioning in this video. The first one that I do want to mention is, of course, going to be Rachel here. Rachel still to this day is going to be one of the better overall burn units in the game. Unfortunately, she is going to be very outdated at this point. However, as a red balance type, she is definitely worth noting for her ability to go into high levels of Reviving Hell's Dungeon, dungeon. She also has a very good leadership ability that increases red element fighters' attack by 55%. However, she is a character that is no longer available, as she is a 7 Knights collaboration unit, so hopefully eventually one day we get a rerun of that collaboration and maybe they will go ahead and hand her out for free again. But in the end, Rachel does deserve a mention here because she is still a very solid overall option. And then the next and last character I do want to mention here is, of course, Mr. Karate. Now, we haven't talked about a lot of unified banner characters in these lists. However, Mr. Karate is a very special case. This is a character that if you have him, you already know. He is a wonderful overall unified banner option. And in fact, he is the character that I would say is probably the best overall red element fighter in all of the unified banner. But in general, Mr. Karate does have a few kinks to his kit that does cause him to fall down the ladder just a little bit. But at the end of the day, Mr. Karate is definitely worth noting and a wonderful overall character, especially for all of you out there that are on a budget and need a really solid red element fighter from that unified banner. So that is going to be today's video, you guys. I hope you all found it informative. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And always remember, these are all going to be according to my own personal observations and opinions. So if you guys have a different view on these tier lists, or there are characters that you feel like should be in the top 5, go ahead and post your version of the list in the comment section down below. But that is going to be it for me, you guys. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Until then, you all take care. Peace.
Continue.